Don't have really all that much to say before I get going, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I always like doing this, so it's fun to just get going. Alright, let's see here. So I still have the same set of windows and stuff open up from last time. Let me see if maybe I should switch things around though. Emacs here, desktop, code in Firefox. So we got a terminal here. Echo hi. Nothing crazy about that. This is just the terminal. Terminal emulator technically. And we have here a Clojure REPL running in the same namespace I was working on yesterday, chunk. Nothing crazy going on there. And I left off, I was working on, I had made a really rough 2D view of the edges I was drawing, and prior to that I was making an extrude function here. It's still a little messy and it's also incomplete. There's faces that I have to do, that I have to make work properly. But even before that, I have to actually turn on the live server again. Live server in the right directory, and open up this one, of course. And this is the document I've been working on. So here is just a showcase of the extrude function, which is derived from the code here. And what I mean by fix the faces is if I run this, the face, so you see here the faces, the shape is correct, but it's not rendering the faces along the side of the extrusion. Obviously that's not gonna cut it. So today, already I'm making mistakes. Oh wait, did this change order on me? It did. How did that happen? Okay, whatever. So the things I kind of want to work on today are just kind of listed here. This is just my notes for ideas or to-dos that I have to do off stream, that kind of thing. So far I haven't had the time to follow up on all these things, but as the stream grows, as I get better and better at this kind of stuff, I in theory will have a nice workflow that I can work with. So it's good to keep notes even if you never end up looking at them again. I do find writing them down is a really good way to kind of solidify them in your mind. So yeah, so these are the three things I thought about that would be kind of cool to do on stream. Fix up the faces and extrude, which is what I'll be doing in a moment. Mock up a views function, which does front, right, top, and isometric CAD view. So in CAD drawings, actually maybe I could find a CAD drawing. So you've got, like the views that you'll need always depend on the complexity of the part, but this is what I mean here. What? Front view, in this case it's got a left view. You could do left or right. Plan view would be the top view, and then the isometric view. So obviously once I have the code that can make any set of views, because it's just basically changing the projection that you're looking at, right? So front is you're looking at the XY plane. Top, you're looking at the ZX plane, or you're looking at all of the cardinal planes. I don't know what the right word is. You're looking at the planes that are aligned with the origin axes to create all the views. So you can make all of them fairly easily just by manipulating the projection you're using. So that's that's all I meant by that. And here's an example of a very naive version of it, right? This would be a top view of the part that I worked on yesterday. So if I take off the dash 2D there, it's running a different function, draw edges, instead of draw edges 2D. Wait for it to render the document. Oh, and of course the thing is shifted all the way over. Oh, excuse me. 40. There we go. One thing I need to do is why are doc re-renders not always the same speed? I don't know why that is. It might have something to do with the watcher code I have. It's not elegant in any way. It's pretty naive. That's okay though. So that's what I mean. If I do this 2D, it just spits out. I have to change this as well. Yep. It'll spit out a top view by default. I want to make a little function that will take the object 4 times, make a diagram with the views laid out in a grid, and then put that into the document all at the same scale, all nicely laid out, that kind of thing. So that's what this is. Mock up a views function. And then this here, maybe for fun, make a background generator. If I look at this part of the stream, behind this camera, and even around, like this is, I just kind of threw this. I'm new to this, and I'm gonna figure out stuff as I go. But this background all around is just very plain. So I had this little idea to do, there's like a, repeat, let's see if I can make an example. There's like a cool sort of random background that you can generate where it prints forward slashes and backslashes at random, and then at different lines. Like at all up and down your screen, and it looks cool if you have if it's a perfect grid. I'm gonna see if I can make a weird sort of example in the REPL here. Is that safe? What does that do? Oh, it's not totally right. String, nope. Apply string. Okay, that's kind of let's see if I take 100. Yeah. Take 1000. Okay, so these slashes are all forward slashes, but if you randomly have these in there, it can kind of look like a cool pattern. Random. I wonder if I do random 01. No. So what I'm trying to just figure out here is how the random function works, because I don't remember. So I can actually, let's see if the documentation, clojure.repl/doc of rand returns a random floating point between 0 and 1 exclusive. So, oh, between 0 and n, default 1. But it's a floating point number. So rand between 100, it can have this whole chunk here still, which is fine, but I want to make it an integer. Int rando. does that make sense? Oh, round, rand, math, yeah. Okay, so it does zeros and ones. Is it the smartest way? Yet again, I don't know. But I wonder, repeat, take, no, not take, nth of either open bracket forward slash or backslash, take from that collection either a 0 or a 1, so math slash round of rand. I don't know, so I have no idea if like rounding technically produces an equivalent, like a pure random of zeros and ones, but it doesn't actually matter, especially not because this isn't the implementation I'm going to use anyway. I also don't even know if this works, first of all. Oh, there's a problem. I have to do this because the backslash is an escape character, so I need to escape the escape so that it thinks it's in a string. And then I want to take 3 from that. I have no idea if it'll work the way I want it to. Maybe. Apply string to take 3. Right, so I'm not sure that this is correct because right, it's not every time it does repeat is not rerunning this nth thing here, so that's not going to work. But it doesn't actually matter right now. I'm going to copy this, just put it here. This is wrong, but may be a starting point. Save that, why not? And that's a thing for another day. And then, yeah, so those are the things I'm going to do. So I'm going to get back to working on this fix up faces in extrude. Oh, shoot. I've been talking without the screen showing. That's a bit of a rookie mistake. Oops. I may as well show. Shoot. So this is where I was going with the implementation's wrong, but the idea was if you print out a bunch of characters of forward slashes and backslashes, it can look cool when you have it on multiple lines. So like this, right? You can, if they're all lined up in a proper grid, which they're not completely here, it can end up looking pretty cool, like a cool background. So my idea is to do something like that, maybe with SVG. That's all I was talking about while the screen was not showing any of that. That's my bad. But the screen's here now, and I'm working on fix up the faces in extrude. I don't know why I put that in single quotes. It doesn't need to be in extrude function, which is, let's get back to this. This here is missing 3 faces, so I need to work on that. So if I look at the extrude function, we have bottom faces, I need middle faces here, and then I'm gonna need top faces, right? So list vector, drop that. So bottom faces map val onto list. I'm gonna just spoof the face myself, spoof it. I'm gonna manually put it in here to see that it at least does get picked up in the render, and then I can build from there. So the first face is going to be from the edge, 0 edge, right? So we've got 0, 1, 2 edge, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means mine is going to be 0, 7, 0, 7, 4, 8, I think. 0, 7, 4, 8. Let's see if I guessed correctly. Save that. So, tangled that code. Now if I save this, it should rerun and re-render this with an extra face in there. And in theory, it didn't work. It did build, but it didn't render the face because I did something incorrect. Okay, so let me actually get these this into here, right? Ooh, I may have given myself a bit of a problem. I may have caused a symbol collision. Yes, I did. That's my bad. Come on. Clojure, remove symbol from namespace. Let's see. Oops. Nope. Yeesh. Pressing all the wrong buttons today. Remove. NS unalias, is that it? Removes the alias for the symbol from the namespace. I don't think that's correct. NS unmap. NS unmap namespace symbol. So let's see here if that'll work. Namespace unmap. And the namespace is this one, stylo.chunk, and the symbol is my sketch. Class not found. Do I have to quote this? Quote both of them? Do I know what I'm doing? The answer is no. Hey, but that didn't error out now. So now let me see. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Now if I save this, nope, save this. Oh, I've goofed it. Hey, okay. This is not serious problem. Symbols used in REPL if same as symbols in the document cause errors due to symbol already being defined when eval is invoked on the EX strings. Yeah, so that's because I think that's related to I'm not paying attention when I'm actually rendering this document. The assumption I'm making is that it's safe to just throw all of the symbol definitions in this document into the namespace of the running program, and that isn't true. So the obvious thing is to be better about handling namespaces and stuff like that. So I'm just hacking my way around it right now, right? So I here just change the symbol here, because now I can define my sketch in here safely, and I won't have the name conflicts anymore. But that's obviously not the correct way to solve that problem. But to get back to trying to figure out the faces thing, let's see what my sketch looks like, and now let's extrude my sketch by 10, and that's the structure I get. So I should have 6 total nodes because I have the 3 at the bottom triangle and the 3 at the top triangle. I should have 3 edges for the top triangle, 3 edges for the bottom triangle, and then the top triangle, and 3 edges that connect it. And I have a duplication problem here, which I can solve later, in a bit. Edges, let's see, the first vertical, the first extruded edge along Z axis is duplicated at the end of the edge list. So that's just, there'll be probably a simple way to fix that. Right, so, but it's harmless right now. It's not harmless in the case of rendering an entire document. If you're duplicating edges, you're just wasting time for it to build the document. You're wasting kilobytes or even megabytes if it's a huge file. It's just a complete waste because you don't even see it, right? And it's confusing if you're going through the document, the rendered document yourself. It's bad to have duplication like that. Okay. So, here. So this is what I'm getting at here. This face is theoretically correct, but I didn't even concatenate it into here. So if I do that, let's see. Oop. to actually cause it to rebuild. Oh, something's going wrong. Let's see what happens. Oh, did I not extrude that? Okay, well, we have a problem here anyway. See that? It's a nil value. Does this do what I think it does or not? Map. Concat. Onto this list. Yeah, okay. What did I miss? I missed something. Oh, I don't need to map val onto that because it's not, I don't even need to, since I'm just making the list directly, I don't need any of that stuff. Right, so that, there. Okay, so it produces a face entity with a value in it. Is this going to work, or is there another error that I don't understand yet? There's another error. Let's go to the builder namespace. Let's build it in the REPL and see what happens. Slurp of standing point.md. Hey. This is not fun to work with. It's a problem. I only have it defined. I thought I'd be able to fix things with just that. Well, I'm gonna actually, let's see here. Kill the REPL. See if I can restart it. Let's see. Is it going to start? Okay, good. We are in the REPL. That's good. That's a good thing. All right, so yeah, I need to do this. Actually, I'm gonna, I'll just keep going. Oop, want to do this. Better way to do this. That's something on the that I definitely need to figure out on the weekend. Main manual testing here. Oop. Yeah, can't resolve a symbol. Not surprised. A little bit. Whatever. So we have, I've killed, there's no watcher. Let's start this watcher. Let's save. Save this. It broke. Let's see here. Slurp that file, standing point.md. Right, so unable to resolve this symbol. Probably I have here, let's close the builder. Well, the namespace is whatever. The renderable objects, entities, I gotta clean this up too. So we have a box in the box thing that makes sense. Extrude. Here, I don't have this. Yeah, so if I do this, copy this tangle thing here, and put that on the extrude part, if I go like this, that will work. I can delete these for now. Yeah, so save that. So I haven't loaded this chunk namespace into my REPL, but it should now work. Yeah. So the reason that worked is because I have in this document itself, using the draw namespace, load this chunk and use this chunk file, and I added those functions into the file by tangling them inappropriately. Maybe a little confusing, but it made sense to me. Okay, so it's building now, which means we're on the right track, but what it's not doing, oops, is, let's see here, extrude. It's not rendering a new face unless I can't see it. Oh, man, not what I intended. Let's inspect this. Yeah, there's only two. There's only two faces. Well, now why is that not working? Let's bring in the namespace into my REPL here. I want to try something for a moment. I want to see if these will work. Yeah, okay. So quick load for REPL, begin source Clojure, and then do these. Right, that should load things quicker. So actually, that might be, I wonder if I could make this, like I could actually just run an Emacs command or something, where if I know that the label that I'm at corresponds to a file to load, that it just runs it with a keyboard shortcut or something. Let's see if I can make a Emacs function that lets me quickly run load file.clj and then use proper namespace would be useful for quickly loading into REPL while in org mode dev files. I sure hope future me is gonna know what I mean by that. But anyway, so we're now at extrude, right? Let me def ASDF in here, excuse me, as polygon 2D of this list of points. And this list of points I'm going to make the same as the ones I see here so that I don't confuse myself. Where are we? Here. Right. Right, so that ASDF is that. So now if I extrude ASDF by 10, I get that. And I do, in fact, get this face there, right? But maybe I'm indexing the wrong... Let's see here. I want it from this edge to 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. I need the edge that goes from, boy oh boy, from 1 to I've confused myself too much, to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 1, 4 is actually edge 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so I got that right. And then from there, it's the fourth edge, which is, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5, yeah. Right? And then the last edge, yeah, the very last edge. Oh. Wait, is that right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From 2 to 5, does that work? Well, I wonder what happened. Let me just try something else for a moment. Let's go to extrude. Right, let's do that and build that. Yeah. Let's see if anything changes. Okay, so now we've got something. Right, there's an extra line in there. Let me see what to delete. Not that one. Let me delete this one. Okay, so I've got a weird problem here. Right, that's just showing up as a line. It shouldn't be a line, it should be an actual shape. So something's wrong with the This is not the smartest way to go about things. I'm not thinking, I'm just swapping numbers around, and that's a slow way to develop. So I have to get smart about this in a moment. Let me just see, did I make it worse? Right, so there is a polygon, but its points don't make sense. How am I even drawing faces? Let's see. Actually, here, let me do myself a little. Just take out the pen and paper. 0, 1, 2 are the edges, or the nodes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then the edges are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then edge 6 actually is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 0 to 3. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. So if I'm manually making these, I should have a face that goes 0, 7, 3, 6. 1, 7, 4, 8, and 2, 8, 5, 6. So let me just show the camera the little drawing I did so that there's some context here. I've got this is what I drew. The nodes, and I numbered them, and then the edges, and I numbered them, and then this should be the 3 faces that are missing. So I'm gonna just manually put those in and then see if it'll render right, and then figure out how to programmatically generate the proper faces, because that obviously is ridiculous. I also thought it'd be cool to see if I can use an iPad or something for on-screen sketching, diagramming, because that'd be way cooler than me just showing a piece of paper to the screen. Brief aside, I'm gonna see that things are okay on the stream. They look all right. Yeah. Actually, while I'm thinking about my stream, if there is anyone watching, thanks first of all. I really do appreciate that. I say if there's anyone, I'm hiding the viewer count. I actually find it a little more enjoyable just to program and chat and stream, just assuming that, you know, there's any number of people watching. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're watching, thank you. You don't have to if you don't want to comment or anything like that, but anyone who wishes to, feel free to just type away in chat. I'd love to talk. If you have questions, you don't know what the heck I'm working on, ask away. I'll see if I can provide some insight. But, you know, just feel free to engage. Feel free to sit back and relax and watch it. Either way, I'm cool with it. But yeah, you know the drill. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. I'm going to manually put these faces in here and see if I can actually get it to render something that looks correct. So I can actually just straight up list them. So 0, 7, 3, 6, 1, 7, 4, 8, 1, 7, 4, 8, 2, 8, 5, 6, 8, 5, 6. Let me put that in the REPL there. Save this. Did that tangle? Yeah. And save. Wait for it to build. Hey, we've got something. Okay, let me just delete a few things now. Something is not acting like I expected. What is going on? I've done something wrong, and I don't know what it is yet. Okay, so I think at this point the problem... See, like I have this. These are polygons, but their points are all wacky. That's the correct term. Wacky is exactly the right term. So I think I have to fix how my faces are being rendered actually. So let's go into the draw faces thing and see what I've done here actually, but bathroom break. It's really hot here today and I went on a run before I was streaming, so sweat it all out, drank a lot of water, and you know how that goes, so I'll be right back. Alright, back in business. Oh boy. Okay, so the faces, draw faces is doing something really weird. Let's see what it creates for me if I draw faces of extrude ASDF by 10. Okay, so I should expect to see for an extruded triangle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 polygons in total. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have the correct number of polygons. That's a good sign. Now, a problem I have, see this? The points on this polygon are 0, 0, basically 0, negative. Well, there's only 2 points here. Whereas this one, there's 1, 2, 3 points. So this is wrong. Let's see here. What's the logic that I used? First of all, this here, RO, is just, I'm just putting it through a series of rotation transforms to put it into that isometric orientation. So that is just, that is where these really long floating point numbers come from the rotations, because I implemented that kind of naively as well, so there's no truncation of the output or anything like that. So for large files that can get really messy too. Create a better float value management. Don't want point strings to get large due to excessive precision, excessive decimal point storage. Sure. Let me see. Let me see actually, is this working? Just chat rules. Oh, yeah. So I'm streaming, I'm doing my development on my iMac, but I'm streaming from like an old Windows, well, old 2015 Windows laptop. It's not perfect, but at least I have work and stream on 2 different things. But I'm just right now messing around in the chat window on the laptop that's running the stream, and it's a little slow. So oh boy. But I'm just doing this because I need to get comfortable with the tools. I need to figure out the weak spots in my setup, that kind of thing. Let me see here. Oh. A great day. Okay, so I just put a message in my own chat. So now at least I know what it looks like to have messages in chat. Anyone there can feel free, of course, to add to that, and I'll see what I can do. Like I said, like typing in the chat on my laptop running this is not the speediest thing, but if you pop a message in there, a question or something, I can respond obviously on stream, so go right ahead and do that. Okay, so I am trying to solve the mystery of why this polygon here, for example, has only 2 points, right? This one, 0, 0, and 0, -8. And likewise, this one only has 2 points. And I think that I should figure out, it's in here, it's in for face of faces, let the fill be that face to nodes points 3D is face to nodes of the rendered object where you pull the value of face. Right. So then points 2D is a transform on those points 3D, and map take 2 of the points 3D doesn't make sense to me. Okay, let's see. Let's run face. Let's find this function, face to nodes here, right? So it takes the object and you put the face in there. So let nodes be map v of val of that, and then map v get nodes from the face. Well, let's run that on face nodes of extrude ASDF10. And then the face, let's do one face here, that's 0, 7, 3, 6, 0, 0, nil, 0, 0, 10, nil. Now let's imagine 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2 is the top face, or the bottom face. That correctly generates this, right? So that's not what I need though. I need 2 more points in this one, right? So this is where the problem is occurring because I have some faulty logic here. So I think I'm getting nil values from this get function here, right? So let me recreate it here. If I get from, right, the map is actually going to be map v val of nodes of this extrude ASDF10, right? So it's not a map, it's a vector, but a vector is a map of the indices. So, or what's a better way to say that? A vector is also a map from its indices to the value at that index. So you can use that you can use get in that way, right? So if I just get 0 from this, it should return a point, 0, 0, 0, it does. If I get 1, it should return whatever the second point is, yeah, and 2, yeah. So now if I get 7, it's nil. Okay, so that's where I'm running into a problem. 3, valid. 6, nil. Right. Okay, so let's have a look at what map of val of nodes of this whole thing actually returns ASDF10. Right, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It only goes to 5. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, maybe it does. Oh, right. Okay, so okay, this is what went wrong. I am assuming incorrectly that I had defined the faces as holding indices to the edges that make up that face. But I was being, in the case of this here, face to nodes, my assumption was that the face is actually already just a list of nodes. And I don't know that that is the smart way to do it. Face, let's do, so if I want to do it the way I'm thinking of it now, I have to do define face to edges, right? And then I need to do this, rendered object face. And then I need to let edges be map v val edges row. Oh, did I goof? I missed this. Yeah, okay, so map v get edges, that's so I'm being silly. Get from edges, right, the face. Right, so if I do that, right, face to edges, let me run that, face to edges. Let me get that on screen for you there. Right, so face to edges, this face produces these edges. Yeah. And then, right, I can do edges to nodes, edges to nodes, and that I need this row, well actually let's do edge to node, single edge to nodes, right, row edge, and that is going to look, that's going to be this, basically the same idea. Let nodes be map v val onto nodes of the object, and then map v get from nodes whatever the index is from edge. Right, so that if I just do edge, edge to nodes of that object, and I say the edge, if I manufacture an edge is 0 to 1, it gives me the points of that edge, right? So that's what I was looking for there. And now face to nodes can actually just be kind of a chain of these things, right? So I can build that more correctly, right? That should make sense. Yeah. So let nodes be right. So nodes of a face will be provided from, first you have to do face to edges, right? Then you have to do, well, you have to map, well let me just break it down simple. Let's grab the edges first. The edges are going to come from face to edges of row with this face, yeah? Then nodes are going to come from mapcat of edge to nodes of mapcat, oh, I have to do it like this. You want to map edge to nodes onto edges itself like that, and that should give me a list of nodes concatenated together, right? Then that's done actually, so I could change this to be, oops, like that, and then just clean this up, and let's see if that works. Nodes, oh geez, I don't need that, just like that. Yeah, let's try that. Now let's try face to nodes. Where was that call earlier? Face to nodes of this extrusion. Error, wrong number of arguments. Oh, yeah, of course. I have to do this. Lambda, edge to nodes of row with the hash there. Actually, I kind of prefer, it technically will end in the same result, but if I do partial, edge nodes row, that turns that thing into a function with RO as the first argument already passed in. So that should now work, I think. Yeah, kinda. Let me see. Oh, it duplicates. Does it duplicate? 0, 0, 0, 20. Well, I have to. Man, oh man. I'm complicating. I think I might be overcomplicating things a little bit, but I'm not sure. Right? Right, because I should only, for this face has 4 edges to it, and I know that each edge has only 2 points, but they're all sharing a point, so I should only ultimately have four nodes that come out of this face to nodes. 0, 0, 0 makes sense, so does that, but then it's duplicated here. This is duplicated here. I have another 0, 0, 0, right? And then a 0, 0, 10. So I have, it's all duplicated. But I can do into, or can I do that? Let's see what happens if I do that. Yeah. Okay, so what I've just done there is I've put this into a set. And sets, by definition, can only have, you can't put duplicate entries into a set. So, right, so I could do into an empty set, this vector 1, 1, 2, 2, and I should get, it won't be a vector, it'll be a set that contains 1 and 2, just like that, which is fine, except that sets have no order to them, so it might render incorrectly. But let me see how bad that is, because it's the only thing I have coming to my mind so far. Into vector into set. Right, so now we do get a list of points from the face that it's provided. Oh boy. Right, so let's see. I don't think I updated changes into the file. Let's try that now. Okay, there's progress of a sort right now. Let me get rid of this face at the top. Yeah, so this is what I mean. The order of the nodes is now wrong, so you're getting edges are crossing over each other during the face render. So you get that here, they cross over, here they cross over, and just by chance they do not cross over on this third one. But we're getting closer again to the right thing. We're not there yet. Pardon me. Let's get rid of the bottom one too. Yeah. So in a perfect world, right, either this point and this point swap over, or this point and this, like, 2 points are swapped. Likewise here, if you swap the bottom up like that, then it would be correct. But that arises in part because like I said, I made the set. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. I wonder if I do into, and then I do six, 7, 9, 9, 0, 0, 1, 2, 1, 1. Right? If the order of this makes any sense. So see that? It puts the order is, like, there's no link between the order that the vector had here and the order that the set has here. Right? The zeros were not first at all, and it's obviously not sorted in sequential, like lowest to highest, because 0, 7, 1 is not that. Right? So it just completely jumbles the order. It might be consistent in how it does it, but that's you obviously you cannot rely on it, right? So sets have no order. I think you can do set. There is sorted set. Yeah, sorted set. But that I don't think changes anything. Let's see. Well, Clojure.repl/doc sorted set returns a new sorted set with supplied keys. Any equal keys are handled as if by repeated uses of conj. Okay, let's see. Can I, is this the same if I do this sorted set? Yeah. Oh. Okay. So Right, so this won't solve my problem because a face might not be it might not be automatically that it goes from the lowest index to the highest index. So it shouldn't solve my problem. I'm going to change this just to make sure that I'm thinking about this properly. Apply sorted set. Yeah. Save that. So this should not solve the problem. Well, it looks like it did, but did it? That is my question. Nope. See that? This one still goofed. Right. That makes a bit of sense. Let's just see what, like, let's take this more complex shape and see what it looks like. So we're going to extrude it, not by GT, but by 10, so that we have a better view of it. We're going to put it isometric again. Save that, wait for it to rebuild, and then we'll see how this looks. Oh, and of course, we don't need to make it 10, let's make it 5. And we'll move it down to 5. See if that's in a good position. Yeah, it looks fine. And then we have to draw faces. What a mess. So that oh, right. Well, of course. So I haven't even, of course it's not going to work. I haven't done the proper implementation of the faces here anyway, right? So if I get rid of that, let's see. Even my top faces are, so there's even something wrong here. I've got the face indices all wrong. I have a lot of work to do on this one. Let me put a little note to myself here. Should draw faces, always draw triangles. My naive approach used SVG's polygon and assumed it would work okay. It hasn't so far. But while I'm thinking about this being wrong for a moment, I want to see maybe if I know why it's wrong. Oh. Is it wrong because of... It's wrong for the same reason that... No. Okay, so it's wrong because I'm using sets and sorted sets, right? So save this. This should now be wrong, but it should look wrong differently. It should be a different wrong. Yeah. And that is because the node order matters, and the set or sorted set, either way, is messing with the order that's originally passed into it, right? So if I actually just get rid of this here, I wonder what it'll look like with all those duplicated things. I wonder if it'll look correct but be wrong because there's a bunch of extra points. We shall find out. Yeah, okay. Right, so we're getting somewhere, kind of. But there's absolutely duplicated points in there that don't need to be. So I wonder, deduplicate a vector. Clojure, remove duplicates from vector, keep order. Let's see how to remove duplicates. Distinct. Hey. Yeah, so here, this is what I was talking about. If you don't care about the order, you can simply convert the list to a set, right? So I had done that, but I did not know about distinct. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Right, does that keep the order that they appear in? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 0. And then it, yeah. Well, okay, maybe that'll solve my problem. Apply distinct and throw that back into a vector. Save that. Let's see if it works. Fingers crossed. Man, I can't wait till I figure out how to get the wait time for re-rendering like really low. Then I can be kind of iterating like basically live back and forth. Did something change and I just missed it? Maybe it's erroring out on me. Oh, it is. Why might that be? Let's go to the builder namespace. Let's do I don't know why I'm looking down at my hands typing so much. I don't normally do that. Maybe I'm just put off by being on stream or something. I don't know. Oh. Well, that's silly of me. Let's get back to stylo.chunk in a moment. Right. Where was distinct? Oop, I don't need to apply distinct. I just need to do distinct like that. Save that. All right, it works. Sweet. Now, just to do a little sanity check here. Let me go back to draw faces here, and where did it go? Is it draw face? I'm losing my mind. Oh no, I put the faces, I manually put them in here in extrude. That's what I'm looking for. Now if I save this, I should see, hopefully, well-formed faces on this triangle. I spoke too soon. I goofed. Let's delete the top face and delete this bottom face. Yeah. Right, so the order that I specified the indices must be, the winding must be wrong. Right, so face, this face here I have correct is 0736 0736. No, the edges are 0736. This one is going to be 1 7 4 8 but the node order is wrong. Right? I need, the node order needs to be 2 1 4 5. So let's see what the order comes out as when I run face to nodes of extrude ASDF10, and the face is 1748 1748. Right, so I need it to be, oh, let me make this easier on myself. Face edges. Right, so the node order has to be 2 1 4 5. Right, so if I, right, so this is what's happening. If I apply concat onto that, right, and then I do distinct onto that, right, so the order is wrong because I ran distinct. This edge, 1 to 2, that's the correct edge, but the wrong order. Unless, can I specify the order differently? Right, so if I go 1 8 4 7, well, let's see. Right, save that. What happened? Did that tangle properly? Let's try it again. Should be good. Right, so this might be fixed by changing the edge order. Yeah. And then that does also mean here 2856 should be 2658. 2658, and then that should create the correct orders. So So this should also be fixed. Oh, I hate that. There's a lot of things I like about Mac OS and iOS ecosystems, like airdropping stuff is great, but there's some real usability problems with a lot of things. Like this, it accidentally triggers this a lot. Like there's things that aren't great. No computer, no operating system is perfect, but if you encounter problems like that on a regular basis, it's more and more frustrating. What time am I at? 1:30? Okay. Or an hour 30. I mean, it's 2 o'clock right now. That's cool. Just giving myself a breather for a minute. Now that I have some semblance of sensible face creation, far from perfect, very far from perfect, now I can actually, instead of hard coding these, I can think about how to have the extrude function automatically generate the proper faces for me, right? So I am gonna think about that, but be right back. I need to stretch for a minute and move around and check on something, so I'll be back in just a moment. Gotta mute this again. All right, back at it. If there's anyone watching, thanks for doing that. Really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good time. If you feel like it, go ahead, comment, chat, leave some comments, questions, anything you want, you know. I'm already having a lot of fun just doing my programming and describing it as I go, but my hope is over time to keep doing this and build more and more actual, you know, interaction with people. That's exciting for me. So if you want to take part, go ahead. That'd be cool. No pressure, because I'm already having a good time. Let me think. Where am I now? Okay. Yeah, so now I want to programmatically create the faces, and what I know is, so if I take 0, 7, 3, 6, right? We've got just zero. What am I doing? Okay, so the delta between the first index and this index is 7. Between this one is -4. Between this one is 3. Right? So let me write down the deltas. We've got 0 to 1. Is this gonna be fruitful? I don't know. -4 and then 3. Right? So then for the second face here, the delta is 7, -4, and then 3. Right? And then the delta for this last one is not that. It's different. So that pattern doesn't totally hold up. Right? Because why? Well, is that pattern a real pattern anyway? 4, -1, 3. Okay, that's kind of a silly way to think about it. So these deltas don't really... Is it a silly way to think about it? A little bit. Right, so the bottom face and top face are fairly straightforward, because I know by how I set this up that the first n nodes make up the first set of edges, and that first set of edges is exactly what the first face is. Then I'm immediately doing the second face like that, so the second set of nodes and edges makes up that face. So those two are almost given to me by the order in which I'm adding the nodes. Then the hard part is there's an extra number of faces equal to the number of edges on one of the bottom or top faces. So that also means, let's see if it's a square, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes, 4 edges, or if it's 5 nodes, pentagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. Is there any situation where the node number doesn't equal the edge number on the bottom face? 3 is a triangle. No, I think it always increases. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, what am I doing? Am I doing things right? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, number of nodes equals number of edges on the bottom and top face, and then the additional faces to create are equal to, there will be, if it's a 5, if the shape started with 5 edges on the bottom, that means there will necessarily be, in an extrusion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional faces, and each of those faces will start with the edge. Yeah, so it'll be like this. will they all be faces of length with 4 edges? Assuming everything's straight, which they are for this extrude, the answer is yes. So there'll always be 4, right? So it'll be some bottom edge, right? And then something, and then some top edge, and then something. Where bottom edge and top edge actually share the same XY value, and they'll just have a different Z value, right? But that's not important. I need the indices of them. So those will always be 3 away from each other in the case of a triangle, or 4 away from each other in the case of a square, right? So we can define Y. Well, let's make face and make vert face. So can we make a face only given the starting index, given the initial index, right? So let's just go ahead and build it out rough. So starting index, let's assume, is the bottom one always, right? So we have index here, then we have something, then we're gonna have it has to be plus n away from the index and then something, where plus n has to be from a rendered object, right? So we know that, let's let n be the number of nodes, right? So if we have, let's imagine the number of nodes, actually we don't want it to be the rendered object, we want it to be the sketch itself, right? So the sketch itself will have an unaltered set of nodes, which means you can actually just count it, right? So if we have a sketch that is a triangle, right, the nodes will look like this. Count this list of 1, 2, 3 points. It should give us 3, right? So n is 3 in that case. So n is equal to count of nodes from sketch. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Right, so then your starting index is index, and then your other one here is n plus that index. And now the only tricks are these blanks here. What are those going to be? That's what I have to think about next. Right? So is that true for this here? 0 to 3 is a difference of 3, 1 to 4 is a difference of 3, 2 to 5 is also a difference of 3. 7 to 6 is a difference of -1, 8 to 7, -1, 6 to 8 is not the same. So that's where the pattern breaks there. Should this be count of edges though, just to be on the safe side, I wonder? It should be the same. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. So is it true then that in an extrude of just a polygon shape, that at the end the total number of edges is 3 times the original number of nodes? Extrude ASDF 10. So the original number of nodes for ASDF was 1, 2, 3, right? So the number of edges is, well, count edges of this. It should be right? So we should expect it to be 9. It might be 10 because of a duplication error. Yeah, so it should be 9. So that's a good sign, kind of. And the way, I'm noticing problem with architecture, quotes, of chunk. There is a lot of implicit structure in the order of indices. This doesn't seem like the smartest approach. Maybe all objects should have maybe all objects should only store data in a tagged vector fashion. Like, so if it's a solid and then it has, right, it has faces, right, with edges, with points, like that, right, and then it's a tree structure. Etc. This is then a tree structure. Looks like Hiccup or Instaparse could then run transforms similarly. Maybe? Because this juggling of indices and stuff seems crazy. There's probably a better structure there. For the sake of getting this working though, like, I actually don't mind if I'm doing it the quote-unquote dumb way or in a non-optimal way, because I think I mentioned this in earlier streams. The idea is to build a code library that can produce an output that's useful to me. In this case, I'm making a design document for a standing desk that I want. And then the next thing I do, like, I have a build list of things I want to build. And the next thing, it might be more complicated, and so I want a more reliable library, so I change the library. And I just keep building and building and building, making it better and better. So this idea might be worth trying on the next design that I do, and then then I know which one was ultimately easier to work with. And who knows, maybe the right thing is actually have functionality for both, and then have a high level language that spits out a syntax tree that gets transformed into whatever form makes sense in the context that it's in. So there's a lot of optionality, but doing little projects to build up the library makes a lot of sense to me, because every step of the way I'm actually using it and seeing what works and what doesn't. That's the exciting thing about building my own projects like this. And also, it's kind of fun to capture the process here on a stream. Okay, I'm derailing myself a little bit. So now I just need to figure out how to get these two blanks in the make vertical face thing, right? So I know I'll always know that the final, let's see here. Right, so the offset for the third edge is going to be n. Well, isn't it true that the offset is going to be 2 times n for this one, always? No. 2 times n plus 1, right, does get me 7, but it's not right here. Because it loops back over itself. Okay. Okay, what I'm thinking of doing here is constructing an index, just an index thing. Right, so the total range oh boy. Let me see here. No, that's right. Right, so take 2n of cycle of range from starting index to n. And I'm going to call that indices, right? And then since it's cyclical, I can say always that let's see if my assumption is right here. You want to get from indices into, or vec, yeah, you want to get from indices the value 2n plus 1 right? And then this one is always what? Two n plus 2. Is that right? Boy, oh boy. Did I make something confusing? I typo something? Vec. Alright, make vert face of the sketch ASDF starting with the index 0. 0 nil 3 nil. Well, we've got, that's right. Is this even a thing? That's correct. Take 2 of, let's assume that n is what? 3. Cycle range index 0 to 3. Okay, so 0 1 2 0 1 2. Right, so it does make something, get from this oh, do I have to cycle this more? Right, because, well, let's see. Once again, maybe not thinking hard enough right now and just kind of messing around. But let's try it. Make vert face 0, 1, 3, 2. That is incorrect. The range, the n here should be 3 times, and the range, and I should just cycle it twice. Oops. Times 3, n. Wrong again. Well, maybe the range is always 0 to that, right? Even if the index is different. Right, but that doesn't change that, obviously. What have I done? Wait a second. Oh. Right. This does have to be 3 times here, right? Because otherwise you'll never have the right number of indices. 0, 7, 3, 8. Okay, we're getting somewhere. 0, 7, 3 is right. So 0 and 3 makes sense, right? But 7, am I just getting lucky there? What if we start with 1? Yeah. Yeah, that's just me getting lucky. Oh. Range, index, oh shoot, from index to right, so that should change things. 1, 8, 4, 9. Okay, we're getting somewhere closer, right? So we've got 184, right? Makes sense here. This, if I do 0, 0, 7, 3, and then we're off there. So I don't need to I don't need the +2 on this, right? Right, so if I take off the +2, I get the right thing there, I get the right thing here, but do I get the right thing on this one? Not quite. I get the 8, which is cool, but this 9 is incorrect. And why is that? Is 9 even a valid index? It wouldn't be, right? Because we've got, if n is 3 times 3, right, you have 9, but range up to 9 is 0 to 8. Yeah, right? So let me hide this for a moment. Return indices, right? So okay. What I'm trying to do, right, is, so I want this to actually look like this. Given a starting index of 2, it should look like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 0, 1. And that way, right, I've got I would have then, instead of getting out for a 2 index, getting the 2, 9, that's still wrong. Might have to rethink my strategy a bit. Can you split a list? That's a string thing. Subvec. Ooh, okay. Well, let's subvec start, and the vector here would be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are all the indices of an extruded triangle. All the indices of the edges of an extruded triangle. Crazy confusing. Then wait a second, is this way easier than I'm thinking? Oops. Let's go back a minute here. Okay. Index. Let's assume the second one is always 2n of the index. 2n is always 2n plus index away, right? then the other one is only, well, wait, let's see. Does that make sense? Oops. Here, make vertical face. Let's do that. Make vertical face, make vert dash face of the sketch ASDF, and we'll do from the 0 index 063. That's wrong. 6 should be 7. This, if I make it 1, 174 is 8. So plus inc index, right? So now 184 0 073 so far is correct, and if it's 2 295, see, and that 9 is already that's wrong. It shouldn't be that way. 0 1 2 3 4 5. I could also these middle edges here, right? They're an interleaving of those, but I could shift them one over. But let's not mess with that. Okay, so why is this wrong? Where did a 9 come from? Instead of a 9, it should, wait a second. This something, I'm doing something wrong. Okay. I shouldn't need to increment this, so something is going wrong, I think. Okay, if I start the index, let me get rid of this whole indices thing because it's not helping me right now. Count plus n plus 2n plus 2n. Oh. Plus 3 decrement n increment index. Is that right? I don't think so. Right, it's the same. It's still wrong. It's 2n. Index. No, I have, yeah, no, that's right. 2n plus the index should be what I'm looking for. No, index plus 1 is right, after all. In the case of 2, I get a wrong answer, but in case of 0, I get a right answer, and 1, I get a right answer. right? And the reason for that wait a minute, 0736 1847 2658 ooh 0637 did I type something wrong here? Oh, press the wrong button. Is it gonna build? Built. Okay, now I need to see. I need to delete these faces. It looks good. Looks good. This does not look good, and why is that? Ooh, what? Okay. The reason that this is this way, I don't know. Oh, never mind. Never mind. So this is part of what I'm thinking through in my head while I'm just kind of staring at nothing is the normal, like the order of edges matters for rendering without twisting things. So for example, this second face here has it starts at edge 1, then goes 7, then 4, then 8. So it goes counterclockwise. Is that right? Yeah. It goes counterclockwise around the normal of this face, which is pointing outward. And that's why this is twisted, right? I was thinking about, I swapped this order, but I shouldn't have, because I was accidentally thinking of the order as if I were sitting inside the triangle, but I need to be thinking about it as if I were outside the triangle. Nope, don't want to save that. Want to save this. So now if I delete this, oh. Yeah, see, so now that is correct again. So we're back to me muddling my way through this. And I need let's see here. Range 0 to 3 times 0 to 9. Okay, so 0, 7 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries away. If we cycle it back for 2, 1 is, no, that's not right. Right? 1 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. Yeah. Right? So 7 away from 2 would be 9. But if you're looping it back, it would be 0. But that's also not correct. It would need to be 6. And the reason that it's 6 is 2, 3, plus 1. Let me get back to the drawing board again. Right, so the logic for index and index plus n is rather straightforward. Since I know that the structure is always going to have the pattern where all the edges are on the bottom, then the next set of edges is always going to be on the top, right? Then the third set of edges is always going to be in the middle. So I should be able to just do something like this. This should always be something like 2n plus index, right? 2. Am I just writing the same thing again? I think I just did. I think I'm just putting myself in circles right now. Right. And then this one, so that's looking correct so far. And then the last one is always going to be two times n plus the index. Yeah. It'll be, okay, so range from 2 times n, so 2 times 3, 6, right? 2, 3 times 3, right? 6, 7, 8. That's the last 3 indices. That's what. So if it's n is 4, it'll be the last 4 indices to the edges, and we always know that it won't be. Sorry, let me see here. I gotta be right back again. Gotta check. Okay. Be right back. I am back. And I'm still stuck thinking through this make vertical face thing. I really do think there's a better way to do this. I can't see it right now. I'll probably look through my code later on and say, oh, well, if I did this or that, or if I completely start this part over, there's a better way to do it. But that's okay. It's better to get something that you know doesn't work than to just guess around more and more, right? At least I think so. Once again, anyone watching this, thank you. Feel free to leave questions and comments in the chat. You go right ahead. I'm happy to engage. Hope this is entertaining or distracting or letting you focus on your own work, whatever it is to you. I hope it's something good for you, because I know this is good for me. I really do love doing this. Okay. So, right, the indices are going to be vector of range of 2 times n and 3 times n. Yeah. Then well, wait a second. Vector, this range produces that. If I get that, if I'm starting at 0, right, get 0, I get 6. So I have to get index plus, oh. Well, okay, what if I double this, like, instead of this vector, it's, ooh, I made a mess. Okay, right, it's, take 2n, so in this, take 2 times 3 of cycle of range 2, 3, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and then I vec that, and then I just get from that the index plus 1, right, index 0, oops, right, 7, and then for the index 1 it'll be 8, and then for index 2 it should be 6. Yes, okay, I think that is my very weird solution. Okay, so let's write this all out. Okay, so that's the range, but I need to cycle it. Cycle that range. I need to take from that range to n, right? And then, since I need to get the indices, I need to address it, I need to put it into a vector. And then here, I just do get from indices the increment of the index you're working on. Oh, and close off the let definitions there. Alright, let's see if this monstrosity has worked the way I want it to. Make vert face of ASDF of 0, 0637. That's wrong. Let's see if 1 is right. 1748 is correct. 2, 2856 is correct. Oh, well, of course, if I do, no, 2 times n plus index, ooh. Oh. Shoot, what did I do now? Is this get from indices index? Two 2856. Oh, I can just do this. 1748 0 0637. That's the wrong order for that one. Otherwise, things are correct. Ooh. I'm very curious to see what happens if I just try to run that now to produce map make vert faces onto the range of 0 up until count of nodes, right? Error. Make vert faces is just make vert face. Save it. Let's see what grossness this produces. Save. Oh, well, it produces an error, that's for sure. Stylo.builder. Let's go into the namespace there. And let's do md2 page of slurp of standing point.md. Wrong number of arguments. Pass to that, of course. Partial of sketch. Oops, wrong. Stylo.chunk. Yeah, let's see if that builds. It still does not. You see here, we're sitting okay. I've got about a half hour left of energy in my system, and then I'm gonna have to call it, I think, MD page slurp standing point.md. Wrong number, make vert face. What did I do? Sketch index. Shouldn't that work? Why isn't that working? Sketch index. Partial sketch. Right? And then you map it onto the range. Okay, what am I missing? Let's try it that way. Map that function onto this range, please. Stylo.chunk. Okay. Oh, it builds now, and everything's wrong. Okay, so actually, I'm actually encouraged by this, despite how it looks. If I delete that top face there, everything has its faces. They're just exactly wrong, which means I'm close to it being exactly right. Right? Let's see this. Inspect this element and delete that. Yeah, okay, so now we're cooking with something. Okay, first thing I'm thinking of trying is swapping this one with this one. So this can be replaced with increment of index, and this one can just be index. Yeah, so I save that. Let it tangle, rebuild the source, save this, rebuild. Hey. All right. So this works now. Inspect, delete, please, thank you. Okay, that is extremely encouraging. So the next obvious thing here, see this right here? That is a correct face rendered over top of a correct face in an order that is, see this? This should be there. Now it looks correct. So face render order, unfortunately, matters for the shapes that you're working on, which is a problem for another day. So faces seem to be working. Seem. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Seem to be working. But I really need to document / clean it up. In terms of actually documenting, let me do this for a moment. Split. Right, so what I need to do is just write a little blurb here. I'm in the extrude section, right? So notes on vertical faces. This seems hacky. Maybe I should entirely rethink how I store objects. However, the makeVertFace function does work with the current approach. What it does is just assumes, what it does is take advantage of the node order when an extrude function runs. So we know that the sketch's original nodes make up the first node, original edges, node and edge order, make up the first n edges, where n is the count of the edges in the sketch. We know that 0 to n, that range 0 to n indices always point to the original edges. We know that because of how extrude works, range n, yeah, is that right? Range, let me see, where am I looking at here? Plus n index plus n we know that 0 to n range n inc n to 2n. We know that that middle range is the set of edges making up the top plane. We know that the remaining indices, right, which would be range 2n up to 3n, are the vertical edges. Using that, we also know that extruding a polygon will always result in rectangular faces parallel to the extrude direction, assumed to be Z direction. Yeah. Using these facts, we can directly build the face by doing arithmetic on indices. So we pass the starting index, which will always be in range 0 to n. Why'd I capitalize that up there? There we go. And just do the weird math in the function. The math, it was derived, was taken from diagrams that I sketched for myself. Note This is probably a dumb way of doing things. Need to research better approaches. Okay, so that's a note. Oh, still tangling it. Alright, so I'm actually gonna call this done for now. So actually here, fix up faces and extrude function. Yep. Mockup of views. That's not done. And this maybe, I actually kind of want to start that just for fun. So let me start this up here. Go back to builder. Alright, so I'm gonna just kind of get things started a little bit. I'm not gonna be streaming for too much longer today. I'm starting to lose a bit of focus and getting a little more tired, so when that starts to happen, I think the stream quality decreases a little bit. But until then, I am gonna at least set up a little tiny little document to mess around with this idea here, making a little background generator. And I'm not going to need to use the 3D chunk library anymore, so that's kind of nice. I can actually just switch to, oops, I always forget to do namespace, the builder namespace, and just kind of stay there. But on that note, don't need main. I need to close this watcher. Oh, what did I do? There we go. So that watcher is done. And I'm going to touch bg.md. Yeah. Now if I go here, open bg, and here I make background generator. This is a simple background generator. Generator. It is fun. Method, it just randomly prints / backslash or / in a grid filling up your canvas. I am doing this in SVG. And I'm not going to use the 3D library actually. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save this. Save that. Let me open up. Where did I save it? Let me see. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking at. Yeah, okay, here. I need this. But it's not QPunk fabric. Use stylo.fabric, is that right? I hope it is. Let's open up the fabric thing here. Ooh, I have to change that. Qpunk was like is the name of a quilt pattern thing, not, it shouldn't be the name of that extension here. Save that. Oh shoot, I'm noticing another little problem here. I have this draw utilities thing, and that's where I should, yeah, this fabric definition is actually wrong now. Right, I should load, oof, boy oh boy. Okay, little note for myself. Change fabric.clj to load stylo.draw. Currently I have duplicate defins. Right, so that's no good. Draw. So actually, instead of loading fabric, I'm gonna try something else for this background here. I don't need to load that. I need to load. Wait, do I need to load anything? Let me just see here if I can draw directly already. Wait a second. Use stylo.draw. See if that works. Figure was let's do line. I don't need a chunk. I need a figure, right? And a line. It's a, what's the line? A, B. Okay. Line from 0, 0 to 10, 10. 10, 10. Figure, draw, containers, figure, description, content. Okay, and it has a default size and default scale, or I can put width, height, scale. So this should work, but I don't need it to do this. I need it to do background.html, which might not exist yet. Yep, and that's because I haven't built it. So let's do this, background.md. Hey, it built. Now this should exist. Yes, okay. Alright, so that didn't work yet. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. We've got a line. That's good news. What does it look like if I only make it 1-to-1 like that? Okay, yeah, we'll start with that. Let's actually figure width height scale. 720 by 720 in scale 1. Does this look like anything or not? Oh, it's like too small to really see it. Let's make the scale 4 times 5 times. Okay, we'll begin with that. Let's just get that out of the way. Okay. Can close this because I don't need that. Right, so let's go ahead. Well, actually, I wonder if I just leave the scale as 1 and just work with, what's better? Put this all in a let. Scale 1. Scale. Oops. Yeah. Scale. I don't know if that's the right approach. Okay, so to get back to proof of concept, I want to have this one move X and Y like that. 1, 1, and the elements are like that. Yeah, okay, that's right. Don't need this dash. Move 1 in X, 0 in Y. Save that. But what if this were 1, 1, 0, 0? What about that? I should see a V shape. Did I save it? Oh, I'm being completely silly. It shouldn't. No. It has to be like this. It has to start at 0, 1 and go to 1, 0. Right. Otherwise, I'm just drawing it this way or that way. There we go. That's correct. Right. So the entire idea is you just randomly go that back and forth over your grid space. So what I want to do, def line A as line 0, 0, 1, 1. Start there, that works. def line B as line 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, right? So then move this away to line A and move line B. So that should have no visible change over here. It should work, and it seems to. No errors, we're good. Just checking that the stream's still going. Looks like it. Looks like things are going okay. Sweet. So, let's see here. Clojure randomly take from list. Picking random elements from a vector. Ooh, that's cool. Repeatedly. Oh, rand int instead of rand, so random integer. That's nice. Rand int. Oh, it needs repeatedly rand int, but I only want to take 100 of those because I don't want it to run forever. Take 100. What have I done? Oops, quit. Do I have the argument order wrong on take here? Alright, Adam, I gotta slow down. Take 100 from repeatedly. Oh. I wonder, repeatedly, number 10, and the function is rand int, but it's a function, so I have to do like this. Hey. Okay, so that's not working the way I thought it was. Because it's not, I don't see any ones in there. Is that just coincidence? Let's make rand int 100. Okay. Repeatedly 10 rand int 100. Oh, okay. It is working. It is. It just doesn't look like it when you only have zeros and ones, I guess. No. Okay, I see. I see. Okay, so that's useful. Repeatedly 10 rand int 2. Let's put that as a comment in here. Neat. Thanks, Web. That was helpful. Right, so if I use repeatedly, okay, that's good. Repeatedly 10. List, no, let's make a def lines as just the list of LALB, yeah, right? Then if I make a sequence of random zeros and ones, and then I map get right, but I want to get those as I well, let's random line. Right, yeah. Yeah, that should be fine, and it doesn't take anything, but it returns, oh, what am I doing? I don't think I need to do that. Let me see here, for well, let's start simple here. For for x range 10. Yeah. Right, so what you're doing inside that for is you're going to produce just a list of move objects. Right, move x 0. And instead of LB, it'll be maybe I don't even need repeatedly, because I think, well, let's find out. Right, so I'll move to the x position the result of get from lines a rand integer. That's that for loop. That's that figure. Is that gonna work? Something's not right. Stylo.chunk, nope. Stylo.builder. Namespace, yeah. All right, let's see what I did wrong. Let's build it in the REPL. Background. End of file while reading. I must have something wrong here. Oh, that comments don't work. Okay, let's note to self here. In X blocks don't work. Cause EOF error. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Now let's do it for range 720 divided by scale, right? Let scale width 720, height 720, width height for range from 0 to width divided by scale. Is that right? Yeah. I think that's right. Right, width divided by scale, so that would be 720 divided by 20 is 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's slightly cut off there. Whatever. Well, that's perfect. So for that range, do that. Right? But actually, I can double this up, right? I can do for range X. I think I could bash it all into one. Range height scale Y XY. See if that works. Yes. I think that's pretty cool. So, see, it looks like a maze. I don't know that. Well, let's see. It's not like a guaranteed. It's not actually like intelligent in any way, right? It's just lines randomly produced. So that happened to exit there, but that'll exit there. Is it true that every entrance will have an exit? I'm not sure. It's kind of fun. There. That was a cool little path. But like, it's amazing how that looks like a complex thing, but all I've done is draw randomly a line either going this way or a line going that way over the grid space. That's pretty neat, if you ask, if I do say so myself. Scale 1 is not going to look like anything, right? Is it going to crash the... Wonder if that's too many lines. It's working on something. Suddenly it's a big file, I think. Let's see. lsalhbg.o. Uh-oh. I may have been a little aggressive there. This is currently frozen. Well, let's That's funny. It's obviously like it's just so many lines, but they're all only 1 pixel, or like they're supposed to be only 1 pixel, right? So it's gonna be a big old mess. I meant to look at this, so this probably was huge a moment ago. The file size of bg.html. Oh, that doesn't close the terminal. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's cancel that. There we go. Okay, we're back in the realm of safety, of sanity. Let's make it smaller here. Yeah, see, that looks cool, but that's already, I think, if we make it 700, like that, I think we're getting into a good good scale that looks kind of cool. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. So I'll do one more thing yet. I want to inspect this element. What oh, I'm sorry, I meant to look at the, see, this is kind of a flaw in how I have things set up. All of these are wrapped in a group transform as opposed to directly manipulating the coordinates of the line. So I think that's probably not the smartest. Probably there's a better way to do that. So this is just a toy right now. So what I was looking at, what I'm going to do is change the stroke color here. I'm not sure why it is black there by default. If I go draw annotations line, I have stroke black here by default. Now that's not what I was wanting. They don't have a class, do they? Let me change something up here. Inspect this element, fill, none. Can I type in here class equals line? Yeah. Is that changing things for me? It is. It's hard to see it, but it is. Does it change if it's not important? Okay, so all of these have a class line to them. I'm just so I'm thinking about coloring and stuff like that, but that's a feature I'm gonna add later because I'm happy actually right now with the result of this work. It looks cool. It's just a matter of getting good coloring for it, which I can do later. Yeah, so every time you save it, it produces a different random one, which is really nice. That's cool. All right, I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I've got a few other things I need to take care of, so I'm actually going to get going. If you've been watching this stream, thank you very much. If you're watching this later on, that's cool. I'd love to see you around on a stream live sometime. I've been doing these around 12:30 till for 2 to 3 hours so far every day, and for the near future, that's going to be the plan. This is an evolving thing for me, so if you're watching or if you're going to see anything live, please feel free to message me, put in the chat anything, leave comments, all that kind of stuff with, you know, any kind of advice for running the stream, any things that are completely missing that are really normal to have that I just forgot about, you know, stuff like that. If you're just content to sit and watch as well, that's totally cool. It's great to just be part of a little bit of someone's day, you know? So, all right. Had a good day today. I'm going to be back tomorrow. All right. See ya.